Do you ever struggle sometimes putting your shoes on? Hopefully this routine will help. Huh, that worked. Hello healthy people, I'm Richard and welcome to Exercise for Health. Today I've got a short 6-minute routine for you to follow along to help you improve your mobility. If you're new to this channel, we offer tips, advice and exercises each week to help you manage your health condition and functional fitness. So go ahead and tap the subscribe button below and the bell icon to be notified of when we upload a new video. So I've classed this mobility routine as for beginners because I'm going to keep it straightforward, so easy enough to follow, and gentle enough that it should be manageable for most people regardless of your age or health condition. This routine can also be beneficial even if you've got mild arthritic pain. The best time to do this would be first thing in the morning after you get up to help you move better for the rest of the day, but you could also use it as part of a warm-up before a gym workout, a swim or an exercise session. We will be working through some of the major joints in the body, generally in one plane of movement. 4 of these will be in a seated position and 4 will be in a standing position. For this beginner level, we'll stick to non-weight bearing exercises, meaning that there will be no additional resistance or stress placed through the joint while you are moving it. No warm-up is required as the movement itself will create a heart rate response and activation of the synovial fluid or lubrication in the joint. While working through these exercises though, ensure you breathe in a natural manner and if you can, try and coordinate your breathing with your movement. Most importantly, don't force your joints beyond what feels comfortable, work within your range of movement and over time you will start to feel as though it's getting easier to move and it will feel less restricted. To follow along, just wear some loose, comfortable clothing and have a space available, something to lean against and something to sit on. With that, let's get started. Right, so to start these mobility exercises, make sure you start in a seated position, set up tall so you're in good posture. We're going to start off with the mobilising the neck, so we're going to start to twist the head from left to right. And as you turn it each way, you're rotating the top part of the neck. For all of these exercises today, we're going to do 5 times each way. Once you've done that, come back to the center. The next one we're going to do is we're going to tilt the head from left to right. So it's like you're trying to take your ear down towards your shoulder without the shoulder actually lifting up. So you should feel just some mild slight stretch on either side of the neck as you do this one. Again, 5 times each way, and then the last one for the neck is going to be a tilt. So we're just going to let the head drop down and then come back up to a neutral position. So it's flexion and extension. You can actually hyperextend this one, but I wouldn't recommend it for some health conditions like cervical spondylosis, that sort of thing. So just come up to a neutral position. Right, next one we're going to move on to the spine. I've just turned to the side just to help you see this one, because we're going to flex the spine and then extend it. So as you flex, it's like you're collapsing the body down, and then when you extend, you're really trying to lift the chest up to get that movement and mobilization of all the joints in the spine. So this is flexion and extension. Again, once you've done 5 of those, then you're going to come back to the center and we're going to change it to rotation of the spine this time. So this is where we're turning the shoulders from left to right. So because we're seated, it's just stopping us from moving the hips too much. So it just allows us to twist the spine on the top part. So as you turn the shoulders from left to right, we'll do that 5 times each way. When you finish that one, come back to the center. I've now dropped the arms to help me do the lateral flexion. So this is where we're just trying to take the side of one rib down towards your pelvis as we do it on each side. So it's just getting the spine to flex laterally. Once you've done 5 of those on each way, the next one we're going to move to the wrist now. So the next one we're going to do is flexion and extension of the wrists. So you can keep your elbows in and basically hands pretty much straight. So you don't have to make fists with this one, but we're just going to open the wrists up and then close them again. Then from there, once you've done 5 of those, we're going to change to rotations. So notice now I'm going to rotate the wrist round in one direction 5 times. Once I've done it 5 times one way, we can then rotate it 5 times in the opposite direction. This is quite a good one to improve your dexterity for your hands. Now we're going to move on to the scapula, which is also known as the shoulder blade. So we're going to start off with elevation and depression of the shoulder blades. So you're going to lift the shoulders up towards your ears and then really push the hands down towards the floor. So as I force the arms down, it will just allow the shoulders to move away from the ears, so we get that nice depression of the shoulders. Next one, we're going into protraction and retraction of the shoulder blades now. So this is where we're going to hunch the shoulders and then squeeze the shoulder blades back together. So really good to get some of those postural muscles working as well on this one. Okay, now we're going to go to a standing position now, because we're going to go onto the shoulder joint itself. So the first one is rotation of the shoulders. So keeping the elbows tucked in, elbows bent at 90 degrees, and you're just letting the hands go out as far as you can out to the side while you keep the elbows in, and then bring them across the body again, doing 5 times. Then we're going to move into flexion and extension of the shoulders. So notice I've got my thumbs pointing upwards. So arms stay straight, just raise them up as high as you can. Be careful with this one that you don't actually elevate the shoulder blades again. So I want to try and keep the shoulder blades down. So it's just the shoulder joint moving itself as I flex and then extend. Now we're going into abduction of the shoulders. So starting with the palms together. Again, keeping the arms straight, I'm going to take them up over the head. And again, be careful not to actually elevate the shoulder blades. We don't want to see any shoulder shrug with this one. So as the arms stay straight, depending on your mobility will depend on how far back you can get your arms over your head. If you've got better mobility, you might find you can keep your arms straight and have the hands right over the top. Okay, we're now moving to the hip joint. So I want you to stand with your bottom against the wall, and then you're just going to flex the hip joint by bringing the knee up towards your chest. Now I'm showing 2 different ways of doing this depending on the mobility of your knee. One way you grab the underside of the knee, and then one way you grab the top of the shin. So if you're less flexible in the knee joint, it might be easier to grab behind the back of the knee as you raise the knee up towards the chest. Now we're going into abduction of the hip. So I've turned around with my hands on the wall, keeping the knee bent slightly. I'm just going to raise the knee straight out to the side. Again, as high as you feel comfortable. So we'll do it 5 times on this side, and then we'll switch. You can do this with a straight leg, but it just takes some of the muscles out of the equation just to work on the hip if you've got the knee bent. Good, and then keeping the hands on the wall, we're going to move to the knee joint now. So I'm going to flex the knee joint by flicking the heel of my foot up towards my bottom, alternating between the left foot and the right foot. So we're just getting that knee to flex as much as possible. Again, 5 times on each one. And then the last one for the ankle joint now is we're going to do heel and toe. So I'm getting that plantar flexion and then dorsiflexion of the ankle joint as you go toes and then heel. So 5 times each way on one foot, and then switch over and do 5 times each way on the other foot. And that's your 6-minute routine done. Well done. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video today, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click here to subscribe to this channel, or click here to watch a recent video. See you soon.